speculating that it could be anywhere valued in the first day or two before the big sell-off, could be valued anywhere between 5 cents and $5 a coin. Even on the low end, if the 5 cents is right, I can walk out of this with $2,000. If it goes 5, I can walk with $200,000. Because you can bet your ass when it goes live, I'm going to be watching it. I'm going to be on my exchanges.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Watching that shit. I'm going to watch. And the minute I see it start to tank, sell, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense.
Oh, that would just be like
that makes sense. Let's see.
All these people getting lucky out there. Come on. Give me the life/podcast changing event that I need.
So give me that. I just need that one good big ass break.
That one hit. Then what I would do, if I could win if I win, like it's a contest, if I could pull $200,000, I would take 100,000, buy a Bitcoin because it's projected to hit $1 million in the next 10, 15 years. And then I would, and pay off my debts and invest the rest in like normal stocks, savings accounts and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that's just a smart way to do it.
Well, we'll see. So, again, I'm a skeptic. I just don't believe these things happen to me, but we'll see.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it's right to remain skeptical about that because every time I've tried to learn about crypto, it ends up confusing me. So,
John Oliver said it best. Cryptocurrency is everything you don't know about computers combined with everything you don't understand about money.
That's a fair assessment. That's fair and accurate assessment. Yeah.
But
and here's I
think now it's probably going to be the currency of the future. I think it's going to push the dollar out eventually. I mean,
eventually it will.
Credits are in Star Trek credits. All that is cryptocurrency.
Oh yeah, I mean, eventually it will. It's not going to do like tomorrow or anything like that. But I mean, I think like in the next 50, 60, 100 years or so. Oh yeah, absolutely. All crypto.
Yeah, maybe in like my granddaughter's life, paychecks won't go to your bank anymore. They'll go to your crypto account.
Right.
Like, you get your weekly paycheck in the equivalent of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, so I mean, it's still at this point, like I said, it's definitely right to remain skeptical because this is all a whole new money system that we're not accustomed to and we're not used to. And so while the average person like myself has no idea how that shit works, you on the other hand, you would have a better understanding than I would.
And even then I don't know a whole lot. I'm still understanding. I mean, like, a lot of the meme coins are just that. It's just somebody took like say the Trump coin. It has no utility whatsoever. It's just crypto with his name on it. That's all.
Yeah.
But some of these like new currencies coming out, especially some of the bigger ones like Bitcoin, Ethereum, they all have utility. The algorithms that they produce on their blockchains help process online payments, provide internet security, algorithms, all kinds of shit. So
yeah,
it's like money that does stuff.
And what you hear somebody, pretty much kind of give it an overview of how it works and everything like that. And it's like, oh, okay, it makes sense. But when they start getting into the details and the whole nitty gritty of it, and that's when it's just, I lose all, eyes go glazed over and my brain just goes, because
yeah. I try to keep up, but it's all these young, techie people that understand everything, and I don't. I mean, I still don't understand stock and how that works, but I never fully got that.
And I think I kind of understand a general concept of stocks. Of course, I understand, the sell high, buy low. I get that shit.
Right, right.
But what the part of his stocks that I don't, it confuses me is sometimes how do people know to project whether or not, how do you know you can see a certain stock and know, oh yeah, that's going to go up. Or you look at this and said, no, it's not even worth it. So I don't know. I guess that just all comes with just the experience of just doing it. So I don't know. It's just confusing to me.
Yeah, and then you get like all the emotional stuff in there too. Like you watch the stock market, and then like depending on something this politician said or something this company released, and it affects how people trade. Like, oh, this could be promising, and then they all start buying, and then all of a sudden a bill passes, and they're like, oh no, it's terrible, and it crashes. It's like I
Right.
don't understand. Too much emotion involved in it.
There's too much going on. There's too much going on. And it's like it's hard to keep up sometimes.
Yeah. So the stupid people just need to, like I said, $25 ain't a lot to lose. If I lose it, I lose it.
Yeah.
I sure would like 200,000.
I mean, $25. Losing $25 is a lot better than losing like 2,500 or 25,000.
Right. I do not plan on being like those stockbrokers during the crash of 20. Like we're leaping out of buildings and stuff and down on the street.
Oh my god! Yeah, the last thing you need is be it to literally be raining. Like the song says, it's raining men. Like it'd be literally like that.
Like the movie The Happening, when they're walking down the street and all those people start leaping off the top of buildings.
That's the last thing you need. It's just all of a sudden, just like it's just raining. It's just raining people left and right. You're just like, what the hell? Oh god. Yeah, it's something. It is something. It's confusing to me. Eventually one day I guess I'll figure it out. I just know it's not going to be today. I know that.
It's going to be today.
It ain't going to be today.
Well, like I said, I couldn't even explain it if I wanted to. I can tell you what I do know, and that's how to buy it and sell it. That's about it.
Well, you know more than I do. That's about you know more than I do. I have no clue how to even do that. Alrighty. Making sure I got IMDb up. Ready. We are all been streaming, so we're good there.
Good to go. I've already got everything up, everything I need. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness in front of me.
Yeah. Alrighty. What do we got here? Do.
Is we ready?
Ready when you are.
Ready when you are. Ready when I am. Ready when everybody is. Hello. It is Sunday, July 6, 2025. Not an important month. I didn't celebrate Friday. Did you celebrate Friday?
Celebrate Friday to being the day after Thursday.
Right. Yeah, me too.
I mean,
Did nothing.
the biggest thing on Friday was just Friday Night SmackDown. That was about it.
And it's 2 days until the rules of Nerdquisition.
Yes.
It's closer to the rules of Nerdquisition than Mondays.
That is true.
So.
That is true. And we are here, Rules of Nerdquisition, here on Sunday. This Sunday, July 6th, 2025. And we are here talking about the Omega Glory. Omega! The Omega Glory, Season 2, Episode 23 of the original series of Star Trek. Not a bad episode, not a good episode,
Nope.
but not a bad episode.
Wait a minute. Are we on the right episode?
Are we? I believe so. Because the last one we talked about was, which one was it? By any other name.
We didn't do by any other name. We did the one right before the episode. We did Return to Tomorrow with Sargon and the little glass balls.
Oh, that's not this one? Oh, I thought that was this one. Oh, yeah, this is a different one. Oh, never mind.
The Omega Glory is next week's. This is the
Omega Glory is next week. This one is yeah. Any other name? I'm way the fuck off.
That's okay. Okay.
But it's all right though. But we're still here, and we're here to.
We're still doing it. We're still doing our thing. We're always doing our thing.
Absolutely. So, needless to say, my bad. I was wrong. She was right. I'm wrong. So there's that. Now, with that being said, as I was saying, we're back on By Any Other Name episode.
By any other name.
By any other name.
Probably one of the first episodes, and there's not a whole lot that introduces aliens from outside of our own galaxy.
Yeah. It's one of the few times. I mean, the last time I remember was Discovery with the DMT. Yeah, the DMT, but that's another show another time. This one, these aliens come from a different galaxy, and they're trying to get back.
Oddly enough, they're called the Kelvins, but that's Kelvan, not to be confused with the Kelvin timeline, which is Kelvin, also the name of the ship that Kirk's father served on and died on in the Kelvin timeline universe.
Yes.
Split, fork, multiverse thing. But even Star Trek has a multiverse now.
Of course, it's always had a multiverse.
Yeah, I guess they did. We have the mirror universe.
Of course, when you had Spock with the goatee.
Spock's beard. I mean, we have an episode called Spock's Brain. Why didn't we have an episode called Spock's Beard?
Well, I mean, we kind of did, but if you explored Spock's beard, you have to explore, Kirk's deep V line. The deep V neck.
Now, this episode is especially interesting because we get to see a lot of the various crew members explore some of their personal gifts. So we have a distress call from an uncharted planet. Kirk and crew beam down, and they discover a human man and woman down there, Rojan and Kalinda from the Kelvin Empire, who are from the Andromeda Galaxy. Now, Rojan was played by Warren Stevens. Warren Stevens passed away at the age of 92 on March 27th, 2012. So, there's that. Bang, bang, bang. Line them up, knock them down.
100%. Keep it at 100.
And I like these better because he died at 92. He lived a long time.
Yeah, he had a full life.
All too often it's like, oh, this person died at 36 years old or something like that. In fact, I might have to go back and do a retcon on one of our episodes at one point. There's one episode where there was, I can't remember what, I think it's just one we recently did, where there's one, the guest star in the episode died like 3 days after the episode wrapped.
Oh. That's bad timing.
It wasn't one of the major ones, but anyway, so yeah, we beam down to this planet. You got Kirk and Spock and McCoy,
and a few red shirts to answer a fake call. You know, they get overpowered by Rojan and Rojan and the crew. You know, they came over there, inhabited, you know, this side of the galaxy. You know, a few thousand years ago. Been ever since trying to get back. Unsuccessful. And here comes Kirk. Here comes Kirk and them. So they decided, we gonna use that ship. You gonna take us home. Now why do they want to do that? Now why do they want to do that? They're
not very friendly too, because I mean, Kirk even tries to rationalize with him, like, hey, you know, we can help you find a planet.
So, yeah, help you find some place, you know, to stay.
And Rojan's like, we don't colonize, we conquer.
So so
can't have any dissent. So we're gonna take your little red shirts here. We're gonna put them on a hill, and he turns this little knob on his belt device, and they disintegrate, or they evolve,
and they turn into like this little
styrofoam garden blocks that you put fake flowers in. The ones that my mom would buy as a kid, and I would crush them, and she would get mad because I just
like the little,
like,
you know,
I don't know, kinda, if it was like, was that an ASMR kind of thing,
or just like a sensory type of thing, or just you know, a texture thing that you just have to,
it's like, you know, wrap. It's you have to.
You have to hear the pop, 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 pop. You got to do it.
But yes, we got the red shirts. It's a man and a woman. He turns Rojan, turns them into these little shapes. Walks up. They get mixed around. You don't know who's who, and he crushes one into dust. Which I would have done both, but just I wouldn't be able to help myself.
Because like, sorry.
And then he's like, okay, so this one's dead, and he, you know, shakes the dust off, and then he tosses the other one on the hill.
So it hits him with his little belt
button,
his belt buckle.
And then boom,
and he's back to being himself again. Yep. Yeah.
So I don't know, Yeoman Thompson. She's the one who died.
Dodecahedron. That's what George said. I guess that's the shape of a dodecahedron.
That would be correct. They were dodecahedrons. So, and there you have it. So there's really nothing Kirk and crew can do. They got to like acquiesce to his request, which is not a request.
They just say, "Yo, do it," because Rojan has another little thing on his belt that just like, you know, freezes them in place.
Yep.
Just which they can see, hear, know everything that's going on. They just cannot move. So Rojan is just like, yo, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. So
you don't have to like it, but you're gonna do it.
Yeah. You don't have to like it, but you're gonna do it.
And this is another recurring pattern in Star Trek that we see a lot, are aliens or enemies with these little belt-mounted control devices. We see it again in Spock's brain, the women who are the caretakers of Spock's brain in the machine. They got the little pain devices. There's always some kind of pain device or something.
Yeah, it's always just the little thing with the knob, and you just turn the knob, or you push the button, or you know, something like the magic device.
The mercenary captain in the 2-part TNG episode, Gambit, where Picard is pretending to be one of them while they hunt down that ancient Vulcan weapon he had, everyone with the chip on their neck so he could
Yeah.
everybody, and
Yeah.
it's a very common and recurring theme in Star Trek episodes.
Yeah, the magic box.
Hey, props to Lieutenant Shea. Like, he totally got out of being crushed. I mean,
so hey, good luck in standing on the other side.
Yeah, right.
That's, I guess.
Luck of the draw. I mean, flip of a coin. So yeah,
right.
So Kirk, they're talking, and Rojan's like, we're going to take your ship and we're going to fly to the Andromeda Galaxy. We're going to go home.
And Kirk's like, wait, whoa, Andromeda Galaxy.
Thousand years, maximum warp.
I said, and that's another galaxy. It's like we don't have the shielding or the capability to cross over into another galaxy once we reach there. So Rojan is like, you know what? We got you. So we're gonna outfit everything with the Enterprise. Get the engines right.
Little matter also of the doesn't actually exist in real life galactic barrier, this energy field at the edge of the galaxy, which somehow prevents us from leaving the barrier. I think they did bring that back in Discovery, did they not?
Yeah, they did. They did keep with that. So I guess in the Star Trek universe, it is canon that there's like an energy barrier between galaxies.
Right.
And
whereas in real life, if you could actually get to the edge of the galaxy and keep going, you would just keep going.
Yeah. That's all it is. Yeah.
There's nothing there to stop you. You just go.
You just keep going.
The galaxy would be like, oh, you want to leave? Fine, then leave.
Oh, well.
See if I care.
Fine, go on then. Take your little funky ass on to the other galaxy then. I don't want you here anyway.
Everything you are.
So the grass is not always greener on the other side. If there is grass.
So good luck touching some. But yeah, Rojan's got that fixed. It's like, what I find interesting though is one of Kirk's first ploys before they get underway or anything, they're in this cell on the plant surface, and there's like these bars, and it's made of some metal, that can't be cut by phasers or anything like that.
Right, of course.
Here is another overused plot device in Star Trek, is the "come help, he's sick" maneuver. Of course.
I mean, that's the Kirk move.
It's a Kirk move. I mean, he does it in Star Trek 3 when he's visiting McCoy in the medical bay.
Of course, that's the Kirk move.
Comes in, right? Yeah, Guard comes in like, "Hey, Admiral, you're wanted. Come here. He's sick. Take a look." Pow! Right in the kisser.
Exactly. How many times has Kirk been captured, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh God, help! And then the guard comes in and, wow, right in the kisser. You know what I mean?
For an advanced species of humans, well, not species, but for advanced humans to still be using like Bugs Bunny,
like the Bugs Bunny
style shenanigans to get out of a cell. Oh boy!
But I guess, hey,
stop there, folks. It doesn't stop there.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
I love this episode. It gets even more ridiculous. So what? Spock puts himself in some kind of like meditative state that
basically like slows
heart rate
to almost nothing, to where he has to go back onto the Enterprise, right? Because that's the only way where McCoy can treat him, because there's no kind of medical equipment there he can do anything.
Right. So Rojan lets him take Spock, and they go back up to the ship. We know it's all now. Nurse Chapel's all like, "What are you doing? What's going on?" And McCoy's like, "I need this," and she's like, "But he's shut up already. You're gonna screw up the plan. Like, stop talking."
So shut up and just do what I say. Go ahead, get hypo spray. Say, but that's not, nurse. Get the damn hypo spray.
Do it.
Just do it. And so Nurse Chapel, all confused, not knowing what's going on. She's just like, okay, Doc, but that's not what's. Okay, I'll go get it, but that's not what. Okay, Doc, I'll go get it, but. Oh, and McCoy is just like, shut up, just go get it.
I know, and he can't very well be like, it's a ploy. Just shut up. I mean, like, you already know the ship is in danger.
Is it right? You know it's in danger, Christine. So you know something's going on. You know this, so I mean.
Just be cool, honey bunny. Just be cool.
So just play along. Just play along.
Be like Fonzie.
Be cool. Or like if you want to go philosophical with it, like Bruce Lee, be water.
Right. Be like water.
Be like water. Water. Exactly. You put water in a cup, it takes the shape of the cup. You put water in a vase, it takes the shape of the vase. Be water.
Right.
So.
And of course, though, it is a plot. It is a ploy. And it's so that Spock can get a look at this power source that they've installed on the Enterprise, which is supposed to improve its engines
to get to
thus reducing their 1,000-year trip to a mere 300 years.
300 years, and then able to get past that energy shielding into the other galaxy, and then from there, I guess, drop them off home, and then they could come back and then conquer our galaxy. I guess.
Yeah. Right.
I guess
for an advanced species that is able to travel across the intergalactic spaces. Have you never? I mean, come on. The Borg even had an interplexing beacon.
Well,
they could have just phoned home, and that's exactly what they were trying to do in First Contact. Was like, we're not going to fly back to that Delta Quadrant.
Said,
we're
please.
Just going to call Mom.
Say, we'll just call them and say, hey, we're here. So, can you come get us?
Right, like the zombies from Return of the Living Dead. Send more cops.
Yes.
Send more paramedics.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah, but we're off to the races to the Andromeda Galaxy, boldly going where no one has gone before.
And so, Nurse Chapel, after finally going along with the program, Spock wakes up, knocks out the guard, and they go out to find this device to figure out how it works, how they could take it down, the whole nine. So, because you got to know what you're dealing with in order to know how to stop it.
Right.
So Absolutely. They make it.
They're looking at it anyway. He's not having much luck though. It's like made out of the same thing that bars were made out of. Like, can't cut through it.
So you can't cut through it. You can't stop it. You can't do anything with it other than just
strongly worded letter. Definitely won't work.
Said nope. I mean, not even a bad Yelp review. Not gonna do it.
No, it's not gonna do it.
So they're stuck there, just having to give them a ride home. Oh,
wow. Okay.
So
interesting in the description of the episode. So we get to the galactic barrier because Spock can't get through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they do get through the barrier. Everything's cool. There's some damage and stuff, and everything is
everything's pretty much fine. They get some damage, and so they do their repairs, and then of course get back.
It's time for Rojan to deconstruct everybody, and Wikipedia calls them spongy cuboctahedral blocks of chalk-like substance. Cuboctahedral. I've never heard that word before.
Cute.
I want to know.
I guess that's. Is that an actual thing?
A cuboctahedron is a polyhedron with 8 triangular faces and 6 square faces.
Oh.
So they're not dodecahedrons, they're cuboctahedrons.
Oh, like giant D&D dice.
They do like D&D dice.
Like just big ass D&D dice. I mean, they do, right?
Yes, Luxana Troy was also played by Majel Barrett, who was
Majel
Chapel, who was, by the way, born or at least lived for many years in my hometown of Columbus, Ohio, before I moved.
Oh.
And
fun fact.
She is also famously known to be the voice of the computer throughout
TNG.
Much of the second of the Golden Era.
Well, the Golden Era, yeah.
Not on DS9 because that was a Cardassian station, but
Voyager, yeah.
Voyager,
TNG,
yes.
yeah. Was it on Enterprise? Was it on Enterprise as well?
On Enterprise, because I don't know that they had voice commands. Everything was like even doors, you had to push buttons and stuff like that to go in and out. The voice was brought back for the last few episodes of Picard.
Yeah,
when they were
I
on
remember
the Enterprise,
that. Yeah,
because when they're leaving, even Riker suggests, "Oh, I missed that voice."
Yes.
We'll throw back to Majel Barrett there, who she also passed away a number of years ago, but still. So yeah,
but yeah,
it's just the 4 of them now. It's just Kirk, Scott, Spock, and McCoy. Those are the 4 people that they deem important enough
to keep, all together, to pilot the ship, because everybody else, they had to make them into the D&D dice because there wasn't enough resources for the entire crew to make the journey.
Right. Yeah. Not enough food. There's and there's not enough.
Not enough food. Not enough water. Not enough.
Watch everybody.
Yeah.
To make sure they're not getting into shenanigans, causing trouble.
Exactly.
But,
and so
you're right, George. She also played number 1 in the original pilot.
In the Cage. Yep.
She was the very first victim of misogyny in Star Trek. When Pike said, "I'll never get used to a woman on the bridge,"
then yes.
and excuse me, shout out to Rebecca Romaine, who does an awesome,
amazing job as
spiritual succession
as number 1, as Pike's number 1. Yes. Right. Oh my god.
So this is where we have to start leaning on some different ways to overthrow our captors.
Mm-hmm.
We're all going to come up with our different plans because Scotty had come up with an idea to destroy the ship in the galactic barrier, but Kirk chose not to order that, which wouldn't have mattered anyway because Rojan found out about it and deactivated.
And yeah. So
that wasn't going to work anyway. But this is where it gets fun because everybody gets to have their McCoy's goal. His task is to be a doctor, and he tells what was his name, Hanar, who's like Rojan's number 1.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, you don't eat enough solid food, so I need to give you these vitamin injections 3 times a day for a few days. It's really not vitamins. It's like anxiety and anger inducing.
It's like
not much different than like a steroid, basically. Just pisses you off.
Probably like a steroid adrenaline mix type of
makes you very
type
aggressive.
Of thing. Yeah.
That's his goal. Kirk, of course, resorts to
wooing,
Kirkisms,
to
wooing,
to the wooing of the ladies.
While Spock is going to kind of like instigate.
So Spock is
Rojan.
He's going to pick a fight, basically, an intellectual fight.
He doesn't have to be in. Well, he's going to pick a fight. Just the physical part of it, he doesn't have to fight in.
Right.
He has to do that. Because I mean, it's another one of those episodes where we get, Kirk gets his cheap plot to get out of the jail cell. He gets a little bit of action with the ladies. He gets into a fist fight. I mean, he gets all the Kirkisms today.
Oh, of course. I mean, this is your classic Kirk.
Very classic Kirk. Yes. Now, my favorite one is, of course, Scotty has to get one of them drunk, and it's positively fantastic.
Oh, at the end, and it starts off just so innocently. You
need something to wash that down.
You need to wash it down, lad. You need something to wash it down, lad.
So they start with Sori and Brandy. And they go back to Scotty's quarters, and then he gets out the next one, which is a foreshadowing of his reappearance in the TNG episode Relics, when he pulls out this bottle, and his name was I can't remember that guy.
Which one was it? Was it Tomar? No, Tomar. Wait,
Tomar. I believe it was Tomar.
Yes.
And Tomar's like, "What is it?" Scotty sniffs it, and he's like,
"Green."
It's green.
It's green.
Which turnabout is fair play. Data does that to Scotty when he's visiting 10 Forward at Relics. Scotty's and sitting down. He's never had synthahol before. And then Data's like, I do believe Guinan keeps, non-synthaholic beverages behind the bar. And Scotty's like, what is it? Data's like, it is green. Then they got to go to the scotch.
Oh.
And Scotty says that the very, 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 very old bottle of scotch. Aldebaran whiskey.
Aldebaran whiskey.
That is. Although that's not technically confirmed in this episode, but it was, yes. And because Card made that distinction when him and Scotty were having the little discussion on the holodeck bridge of the original Enterprise. But so they get really trashed. Scotty literally drinks Tomar under the table. He even says so. He's like, we put him right under the table, lad. He's kissing the little empty bottle of scotch. He's so proud of himself. He gets up. He grabs the little belt device, walks to the door, and promptly passes out. So
Scotty...
he got to have the most fun and accomplished absolutely nothing.
So, I mean, well, technically, Scotty got mission accomplished. Because, I mean, the mission was to get the little thing, get his belt. I mean, he did. He did.
He also effectively takes Tomar out of the picture.
Yeah.
So that's at least one enemy player that's off the field of battle, so to speak, metaphorically.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's unfortunate that, I mean, he sacrificed himself. But he had a good time doing it.
He had a good time doing it.
Oh, but yeah.
It is.
And
yes.
And so, yeah, they find out that these Andromedans, just call them Andromedans because they realize that they don't know all of the sensations that the human body has to offer. So,
but they're starting to become more human as they inhabit these.
The body's longer, and as they work closer with the humans, and they get the ship ready, and they're on the way, and then so they're realizing, and they're starting to explore their more human side.
Yep,
and
Kirk's getting Kalinda getting a little flirty with her, and Spock's over here going, "Hey, he's making moves on your girl, man. He's making moves on her."
And he's like, "Hey,
you don't like that, do you? You should.
I mean,
that's bad."
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, hey, I've seen what happens. When he starts that. I've seen what happens. You sure you wanna trust her around him? I mean, you two. I thought you two were together. I mean, I'm just saying is that it's doesn't look good, and
right.
I know how he is.
And so Rojan's on the bridge a little bit later, Spock comes up and Rojan's like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "Well, I got to check all the sensors and stuff. They need regular maintenance." And Rojan's like, "Cool. You go ahead and do your thing. Where's Kirk?" He's like, "Oh, he's in the galley or something." And you're like, "Oh, was he alone?" And Spock's like, "No, he wasn't." And this is after Rojan has already told Belinda to stay away from Kirk.
Yeah.
He don't like it. He does not like it. So he goes down there and the fight ensues. Kirk is thrown around and over some tables.
So of course, because
his shirt got ripped.
No, not this time. Not this time.
We were going full out on Kirkisms today. Like, why did his shirt not get ripped?
Well, that's a good question. Because usually whenever he's wooing someone, the shirt gets ripped. And when the shirt gets ripped, that's when oh my. That's when a different kind of song plays.
Maybe it's different for everybody. I mean, I'm the first one to admit that young William Shatner was a good-looking guy, but it's not like he was ripped or anything. He wasn't swole.
It's like, no.
He was pretty average. Not particularly muscular. I don't know.
I may look like he was a good runner, but...
Probably had some decent endurance, sure. But I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and obsess over Bill Shatner. There's plenty of reasons to not like him.
Yeah, but I guess this must not have been within his contract to where he had to take his shirt off on this one. So
not on this one. Maybe he was like, we know how he was with money and how he was always demanding more and always wanted to be the center, and he couldn't. No one else on the show could have anything that he himself didn't get. So maybe it was just like, oh well, I'm not getting my little shirt off bonus today. I'm not taking it off.
It's like,
but he manages to convince Rojan that, like, you're just acting like another dude. Look at you acting like me.
So you're nobody. So you're just like me.
I brought you down. He brought him down to his level. Literally.
He did.
And but makes a good point and says that, like, by the time you get home, you're going to be inferior to your own species. They're going to look at you and be like, who even are you, man?
Yeah. It's like, you are not, no. So they would be like, Kendrick Lamar. They not like us. They not like us.
Nope.
No.
The internet hashtag, we are not the same.
We are not the same, no. That would definitely apply.
That would definitely apply. So Kirk says, hey, we can still help you find a place.
So, I mean, we could find a planet for you.
We were just on. It was nice. It had flowers.
So, flowers. I mean, you could live there. It's nice. Had great weather. So
and I do like the most about this episode is how Kirk says this, and Rojan is like, you would do this for an enemy? And Kirk is like, no, but we'll do it for a friend. And I thought that was like the most poignant thing that was said in the whole episode. It's like, after all the conflict,
after everything, he was like, I get it. If I were in your situation, I would probably want to go home too. So I understand it. I don't blame you for it. I don't want you to conquer, Right. I don't want you to conquer my galaxy.
I'm even going to let that little incident at the beginning, I'm going to let it go.
Don't let that.
You don't know me very well, but you see, my whole shtick here is kind of like to crew the ship with as many young, beautiful women as possible, and you just crushed one in your bare hands.
So, I mean,
that was not cool.
Not cool, man. Not cool.
Not cool at all. So, and that's it, really.
So yeah, they find him a place and they drop him off, and Kirk and crew go about the business.
It's not a deep episode because, I mean, actually, because I had started to watch, I got through most of the other episode that you were talking about before, the
Right.
Omega Glory. I got through a lot. That episode is a lot more complex. There's like a lot more going on in that episode, so it's not going to be like, I mean, because this is, if you could sum this one up, if you could sum this one up, Kirk crew beams down to the planet, meets aliens, aliens take over ship, Kirk fights bad guy, they shake hands and go home.
That's about right.
The whole gist of it there.
Yeah.
But I still love it when singular characters get to have their moment. I mean, they didn't do it as much in the original series as, like, say, Star Trek The Next Generation or Voyager, DS9, where you had episodes that were specific to certain characters, where the whole story centered around one character. They never really did this in TOS.
No.
So they had moments, and that's why I like the fact that,
every now and
Spock's
had moments.
Last week's episode, when he got to laugh and smile, and
same thing with Scotty. Scotty having a moment with who was it? Tomar having a drink. Is it Tomar? Was it? Yeah, Tomar. And
it is green.
It is green. And and George is, oh, you mean we could have just asked for your help? It's like, yeah, bro.
There.
That's how we do. You could have just asked.
That's how we do it.
He's like, but yeah, overall good episode. I mean, not a deep episode, not layered or anything like that. Just a pretty much straightforward type of episode, but it's still pretty cool.
Collider
I enjoyed it.
In 2018, Collider ranked this episode the 9th best original series episode. I don't necessarily have my own ranking system. I mean, I have my favorites, but I don't know. I've never done like a detailed list of putting them all in order of how much I like them or not. This is one of the first instances where they quote Shakespeare, which becomes yet another sort of recurring Trek theme.
Like with the Shakespeare quotes. And actually, I want to say, haven't they continued that like through all of the series?
Oh yeah, through the series and into the movies. I mean,
like even
all the way to the point when you get to Star Trek 6 and Chang is on the PA and McCoy's like, I'd give real money if he'd shut up, because he's quoting Klingon in the original Klingon, or quoting Shakespeare in the original Klingon. So
right. And oh gosh, actually, I want to say, hasn't it been continued all the way through into Discovery, like Strange New Worlds? At least like doing a Shakespeare, quote or something like that.
Let's look into that right now.
I don't know. It seems interesting to me.
Not only quoting it, but also incorporating stories that were inspired by Shakespeare writing.
Oh.
But yeah, like we had Chang and Patrick Stewart often quoted. Moby Dick is another recurring theme. We've heard that one.
Yeah.
That was a big, underlying plot theme in Star Trek 2, Star Trek First Contact. So, classic literature is definitely something that they talk about a lot. So George has some input here. George's favorite episodes:
Doomsday Machine, City on the Edge of Forever, and Patterns of Force. Okay.
Wow, Patterns of Force. Interesting choice, George, because Gilbert and I made a conscious choice to skip that episode and not review that one.
Yeah,
because
it was
certain problematic elements that are in that, and
a little bit
iconography, some glorification of past hateful regimes,
and yeah, it didn't seem appropriate.
Not in this political climate, no.
Yeah. So yeah.
We decided to not review that one. If anyone's questioning that, because yes, we did jump directly
So
from.
we did skip that one. We skipped that one intentionally.
Yes, yeah, we skipped right over that from Return to Tomorrow. So this would have been the week that we did Patterns of Force. We went right into By Any Other Name. Trumpisms, sure, that's definitely one of them.
Definitely.
Again, just some of the iconography. I mean, there's an overabundant use of a particular symbol that I didn't feel like talking about.
Yeah. Especially with certain uniforms that were being displayed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not didn't seem really appropriate for again for the political climate.
Yeah, and they weren't real clear on their breakdown on authoritarianism. They didn't do enough in the episode to outright decry it, I guess. These are just some of the things I'm looking at on the internet,
Like it was almost like it was just a story that was just like it happened. And that was it. Not anything to say, hey, this is wrong and this is what we should be doing, or my objective opinion on what needs to be done. So anyways, there's that.
Yeah, I mean, the quick AI breakdown, it's just without getting too deep into the episode, the original series episode is problematic quoted by a number of people due to its portrayal of a certain 1930s regime in America or in Europe, and then some of the basic trivialization of the atrocities by that regime, questioning message about authoritarianism, oversimplification of complex historical events. So, I mean, certainly it does talk about the dangers of unchecked power, but that's it. We didn't want to deal with it, so we won't, because we can do what we want here.
Right. This is our show.
Our show.
This is our show. So na boo boo.
But speaking of favorite episodes, if I were going to give you my list, at least a handful, George and anyone else watching, Spectre the Gun is probably my absolute favorite. Shore Leave. I love Shore Leave. Space Seed. Probably those three. Yeah. Sounds about right. And we've already done Space Seed and we've already done Shore Leave. We haven't gotten to Spectre the Gun. That's in the 3rd season. So.
Yeah.
Which we are only.
How many episodes?
1, 2, 3, 4 episodes left
of this season.
Oh no, George!
No,
don't
wait.
apologize.
Oh no, George, you're fine.
To do with that.
No, it's fine. You didn't have. Don't even sweat it, George.
Mirror is another good one. Yes, correct.
Oh yeah, Mirror is good. Yes.
We met more to avoid triggering anyone else that might watch this episode to listen to us.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason. But yeah, 4 more episodes in this one. We got the Omega Glory, the Ultimate Computer. That's a good one. Bread and Circuses, and then Assignment Earth, which is another one that people really like. Was my mom's favorite. That one had Gary 7 in it. It's like
Gary 7,
agent from the future. So that's a good one. And then after that, we will be at our season 2 finale, in which we review the Star Trek movies in order, and we will be talking Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan in just about a month.
Wrath of Khan.
Arguably one of the greatest Trek movies out of the 13, I guess 14 now if you count Section 31, right?
I
I know. I'm not super
I don't know if you want
thrilled
to.
with that movie.
I mean, it's a Star Trek movie.
Yeah,
If you
it
want to,
has some moments that are okay.
it has some moments. Yes, I will. Yeah, I'll agree with that statement. Yes. Um,
Yeah, so
I
there's
could.
13 films based on the franchises. So
Okay.
you've got 6 original series movies. There were 4 Next Generation films in
Uh
the
huh.
Kelvin timeline. If you count those, you got 3 there.
All right.
But whether you like it or not, Section 31 is still a movie. So we have 14. So Mr.
Yeah.
AI thing in my computer, you are wrong. It's 14.
The AI doesn't count. Count Section 31 as a.
I
I
want to
mean,
say,
it's
George,
technically
I
a
think
movie.
we did Mirror already. I think that one
Did we
was
get?
set earlier this season.
I believe we did.
Yes,
Because
it
yeah,
was
we
one,
did.
two,
Yeah.
three, the 4th episode of this season. So yeah, we already did that one. TMP, what's that? Which one was TMP, George?
Um.
I'm having a blonde moment. Like, what's the acronym?
Or do you mean TNG? Did you mean TNG?
If it was one letter off, I would think that, but it's just TMP, so I don't know. We'll let him respond. Let him tell us.
So is that a new?
I'm
Is that a new Star Trek
wondering if
series?
there's
Star Trek Temps.
abbreviation for an episode name, which
I was,
I can't think
oh, I thought it was like Star Trek Temps, where it's just like a ship of just a whole bunch of temporary crew. Like it's the ship that has the highest turnover rate in all the Starfleet because they're all
Or
temps.
the motion picture. Is that what you mean by TMP? And we reviewed the motion picture as our season 1 finale, so we've already done that one as well. So what we're doing is we're almost finished with the original series season 2, and then we'll do
Oh, still.
Rathcon. Then we'll do season 3, then we'll do Star Trek 3, then season 4 and Star Trek 4, whatever. But then again, if we can get
Right.
people involved in Star Trek, we can go back and retcon
Yeah.
certain episodes. I'm
Yeah.
happy to talk. If we can talk to somebody from Star Trek, then yes.
Oh
Then
yeah.
absolutely yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm
That's
saying-
absolutely.
Using too many words to say yes. Absolutely.
still-
yes.
Still, I like I like my whole Star Trek Temp series.
You know,
Star
that
Trek
could be
Temps.
good. I almost wonder if like Star Trek temps should be Star Trek red shirts. even though TNG basically turned that whole trope on its head
True.
by
Yeah.
flopping.
But making all the red shirts
flip-flopping the color.
command. So it's like you gotta have the red shirts here because you can't have the Enterprise without Captain Picard, and Commander Riker, which incidentally, Jonathan Frakes, that's one tall dude. That is a very tall man. That's all I have to say. He's a very tall individual.
Oh, Jonathan Frakes.
He's a very tall individual. Yes, he is.
Yeah, I know. You sent me the picture from the Comic-Con, and I'm just like, wow, Gilbert's just a little thing.
He's very tall.
And I say that knowing that
Said know that we are the same height. And he is very tall.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay, so Doug Drexler, yeah, he did a lot of like model work and stuff with Star Trek, it appears. VFX and various things.
Yeah, if you can, that would be amazing.
Yeah, he's also, it says here, he's also not just involved in the series, he's very much a fan. I love it. We've said this before. I love it when people involved in these shows are also fans. And I'm going to say it again, even though we've talked about it before. This is why I absolutely positively adore Tim Russ.
Oh, Tim Russ is so amazing. So amazing. And just the simple fact is that he had the chance of having a regular, steady paying gig, but he held out.
Cash in his pocket.
And held out and waited for Voyager.
Like, I want Star Trek, man. This is a job. I can feed myself. But man, Star Trek is so cool.
This is just too cool. You know, so
I mean,
Tim Russ,
I hope I'm not imagining something that's I can't see how it wouldn't be if when they called him up and said, "Hey, yo, you want to be in season 3 of Picard? You want to reprise your role as Tuvok?" I could just see him like a.
So he probably said yes before they even finished the sentence.
Right, he looked at his phone and he sees a Star Trek cast, person or eight,
So right, he probably sees his agent. It's like, so they got a part in Star Trek Picard. Yes.
Yes.
That's probably how the conversation went. So yes.
Yeah.
And side note, I do hope that he makes a guest cameo appearance in Spaceballs 2. I kind of hope he comes back in Spaceballs 2.
If we go on our current schedule there, George, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, it would be August 9th. No, I'm sorry, August 3rd episode. It would be the August 3rd episode will be our season finale and review of Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan. So, can't wait for that. And then we're going to we don't take breaks. We jump right back into it. We'll be back the following week with episode 1 of season 3, which is Spock's Brain.
Spock's Brain. Burr, burr, burr.
Spock's Brain. Yeah, so, and then there's, let's see, how many episodes did we get in season 3?
Season 3, 24. Yep.
Where this one had
26.
And then we'll be moving on.
Then we'll be in the golden era.
Almost. We got to go through the animated series. We could probably do multiple episodes per show since they're only like 30 minutes, but the animated series is considered canonically the de facto TOS season 4.
Okay.
I mean, the production is still the same. The stories are still the same. The quality is just as good. The only difference, it's just animated.
Yeah.
It's voiced by all of the original cast. So
that's cool.
There was only one season of it. I wonder how many total episodes we had.
Oh, wow. Let's see.
Looks like there's 16.
Oh, okay. So that's not bad.
We could even break it up into like we could do like a 2-parter episode and do half one episode and half the following week. That way we don't get bogged down. But oh god, I'm so excited just because you hate the character so much. I mean, I do too, but I cannot wait till we talk Mud's Passion because I know you can't stand it. They're like 2 of the worst episodes in the original series, in my opinion, are the ones with mud.
And it's just like this.
Brought him
All right, and again, the Harry Mudd, Rainn Wilson's depiction of Harry Mudd, love it. Love
I've
it.
said that numerous times. Diabolical.
Absolutely diabolical. This one, this dude's annoying. It's like he's just annoying. It's like you just want to.
He's not even.
He's not even like a bad guy.
Or charming enough
No.
to be a good con man, in my opinion.
No, it just seems like he just annoys people to do shit that he just wants. And
It's just like, if you'll shut up, okay.
Say, oh my god, dude. Like, fuck.
Damn, he's that friend that stands over you while you're eating, like, can I get a bite of that? And ask you like 100 times.
So you gonna finish that? You gonna finish that? You gonna finish that? It's like he's one of those friends.
Oh my god. And then I compare him to other con men in the series, or in the different series. The episode where Data is kidnapped by that like collector.
Yeah.
You know, the actor that plays him's kind of goofy, not somebody I would consider threatening, but he's kind of devious and diabolical in that episode as well.
Right. See, other Doug Drexler, Darren,
The Most Toys.
Dr. Man, the Drexler. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Any of those, yeah.
Sounds great, George. That sounds amazing, man. If you could set something like that up, that would be chef's kiss.
That would be cool, yeah. So it was Saul Rubinek who played Kivas Fajo. That was the name of the guy that kidnapped Data in the episode The Most Toys.
Awesome. That's cool.
Well,
Cool,
it must
cool,
have been
cool,
early
cool.
on in the series, too, because... or maybe they just got her listed there. She could not have been in it. It says Denise Crosby as Lieutenant Natasha Yar, but I don't think that she... just looking at the picture, I know it's not true because Data's uniform has a collar on it, and she was gone when they still had no collars. I mean, she was killed in season 1, right?
I thought it was season 2.
Was it season 2?
Oh, it may have been season 1, but
There's the episode Skin of Evil, but I'm not showing who was. It's too much Trek information for my little brain to handle at once.
is that right?
Yeah, even I did not like that episode since we're talking about it at the moment.
What a Skin of Evil.
Yeah. I thought her death was so underwhelming. And I'm sure there were some behind the scenes reasons why. I think some creative differences probably. It's always creative differences.
Yeah,
Which
that's
means
always.
she wasn't getting paid enough, or she didn't feel like she was being utilized enough. Probably one of the two.
Yeah, probably. Because, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, if your character is not there on TV or anything like that, or you're not going through any kind of character development, then pretty much, I mean, people are not going to respond to it. And your character is just, you're going to end up like Dr. Polanski. So
Okay, so Denise Crosby asked to be let out of her contract, is what the interweb states. But they brought her back as Sela. Well, first in yesterday's Enterprise, and then, and that's where she went to the Enterprise C, went back to the battle of the Narendra 3 against the Romulans. Enterprise C is destroyed heroically in battle, but Yar, among some others, were captured, taken back to Romulus, where she was married to and had a child with a Romulan and gave us Commander Sela, which I thought she was brilliant as Commander Sela.
Like,
much better character for her.
Definitely. I would love to see more of Captain Sela. To kind of see, explore that, character for her, because up until then, we are all used to, head of security, Tasha Yar. We were used to, seeing her, kicking ass. We've seen her, getting, getting a little bit of, get a little bit of the data when they got in when Data got that infection that made him think he was drunk. So there was that,
and he revealed to the world that he is fully functional and in multiple techniques.
Yes, fully functional. Yes, and hey, apparently, I guess he must have hit that right spot.
He hit the spot, all right. Yeah, what was it? An episode later, he had that little like hologram of her. Didn't that device make a return appearance in a future episode
of a mobile hologram device? Oh, Tasha Yar?
There's a little hologram device, Tasha Yar.
I believe so, yeah. Oh, because I want to say that the hologram of her was like a message. It was just like a message to, is it to someone, or was it like a general message?
Oh, a measure. It was just an image of her, like kind of spinning around or just standing there. It made a reappearance in the episode "A Measure of a Man." Yep.
Measure of a Man.
George came right with me. Yeah, the one where Maddox was attempting to get control of Data, so to speak.
Right.
But yeah, and who also makes a return appearance. I don't know if played by the same actor. I never could figure that out. But in season 1 of Picard, with the whole synth. Now we've hit our second hour here. We did not come up with a secondary topic for today.
No, we did.
It was kind of a busy week for me, so I was, in Blonde World.
Well, like I said, the most recent thing I watched was Ironheart, and that was amazing.
You see all 6 episodes then?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I saw all 6 episodes, and I say I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to watch. I don't understand why it got the hate that it got, but I liked it. I really enjoyed it.
Black and brown people, that's why. Because white people weren't front and center.
Of course. And
I mean, even the bad guys were of Latino or Hispanic descent. The main villain, who you don't even see until episode 6, is Jewish.
Right.
So, yeah, there was just not, and that's typical of this era that we're living in right now. There's just not enough props being given to people without melanin. And it's just a sad, sad thing. I think that's true, George. And I think that's what makes it interesting, is it's not just an Iron Man suit. It's driven magically as well. So,
yeah. And that's the main difference, is that, it's because it's is driven by magic, and the big difference is simply because, and I would think, I thought, until it was pointed out, is that why didn't she ever, get in touch with Shuri or someone in Wakanda or something like that? Because I mean, sure, she's got to have a way to get in touch with them, and then she pointed out,
she was like an intern there.
yeah. Or,
So, like, you think you've got, if not Shuri's number, at least you can get in touch with the government.
right? I mean, you got somebody's number to where you can say, "Hey, this is Reby. I'm trying to get in touch with Shuri. I know you're not gonna, or something like that, to where you could call her or something. But until
Yeah, I'm sure.
until she pointed out, it's like, oh well, since I caused an international war between Talokan and Wakanda, I got kicked out of MIT. I joined an international gang and
Crime syndicate.
a crime syndicate.
Right. And I've also created an Iron Man suit that's powered by dark magic, and it has the potential to cause devastation everywhere. Call me. I need help.
Right. So, yeah, not really the call that you want to make.
So, I mean, given that we've both seen all 6 episodes of Ironheart, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this little warning out there. Since we're obviously going to be talking about that now, there will be spoilers.
Hey, I guess Ironheart is as good as anything else to talk about.
And it's new and it's fresh, and they released it in 2 droppings. And 2 bulk, 2 or 3 episodes at a time. You got 3 episodes on the first Tuesday, and then the following week you got the final 3. So if you haven't seen them all by now, what are you waiting for? They're all on Disney.
They are. I mean, it's a great show. Like, I get it. It's not Robert Downey Jr. It's not Tony Stark. I get that. But open your mind. Tony ain't here no more.
Get over it. Tony's dead.
Tony's gone. So we need another Iron Man. However, who are you going to get? Pepper Potts? No. Nobody likes Pepper. We do like Ironheart.
Yes, we do.
We do like
and
Riri.
I was in great anticipation, as many people were, of finally seeing Mephisto for the first time.
Yes.
In the MCU.
Yes.
And I'm just going to throw this out there and say that Sacha Baron Cohen nailed it.
Absolutely. From the look, from how he dressed, even him just slipping in and out of different accents.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, it fit. And it was just like, okay, yeah, that's Mephisto. That is Mephisto.
Yeah,
and
we mentioned it at least briefly last week. I did not like Peter Fonda's representation in Ghost Rider. That whole movie was poorly cast.
No. Just no.
From Blackheart to Mephisto to all of his little goons.
It's like, here's the thing. Peter, he would have been fine if he was like, just a random demon, but not Mephisto, so it just didn't fit him.
Right.
And as far as Nicolas Cage was the wrong person to cast for Ghost Rider. Just
that whole thing we talked about last week with the
absolutely wrong.
It's either a bad actor in a good movie or a good movie with a bad actor. Or a bad movie with a good actor.
He's always one of the two. He's always one of the two. Always one of the two. It's good actor in a bad movie, bad actor in a good movie.
Yeah, and
But
I don't know if like they just wanted the cred of Peter Fonda. Like, hey, we get Peter
I
Fonda
think
in here
Peter
as the
Fonda,
devil.
yo, hey, he would say Peter Fonda. It's a recognizable name.
Right, right,
Since when? 1970? For who?
right.
Anyone know who Peter Fonda is? Nobody knows who Peter Fonda is. I mean, unless you grew up in the 70s or 80s, you had no clue who Peter Fonda is. But still, just the
His
show is just so
daughter, in my opinion, is more well known than he is, and she's not that well known, except for the
right.
fact that um, that they have a famous last name. But I'm Bridget Fonda, like
That yeah,
single white female,
that's about right. I mean,
Jackie Brown. Got to watch
so,
Robert De Niro pop her off in that van at the end.
yeah,
She wouldn't shut up, man.
she wouldn't shut up.
Badgering me. But yeah, so I know.
So yeah,
I mean, I do know that in the 70s and 60s, Peter Fonda was
so yeah, he was,
something,
and during that time, he was the king. Okay,
and he did a lot of motorcycle themed movies. So
so yeah,
I can understand part of that,
I
which
can
will
understand
go
that,
back,
but
which will take me back to what I said last week. And whoever at Marvel is listening right now, you are to immediately cast Norman Reedus as Ghost Rider in the next incarnation.
absolutely.
Immediately.
And he has said he wants to play Ghost Rider. We want him to play Ghost Rider. Him plus Ghost Rider equals money.
Yes, and he also has a motorcycle connection. So you got all the winning. You got all the winning elements here. Let's.
Norman Reedus plus Ghost Rider equals money.
Yes.
Marvel, hit him up. We need him as Ghost Rider. That's money right there. And it's money. And if you want to feel some type, matter of fact, bring Nicolas Cage in it, and cast him as a demon working for Mephisto.
Maybe.
I mean,
I've been
as long as he doesn't say
struggling to
anything.
find Nicolas Cage movies after last week's episode. I was really trying to. I was struggling to find Nicolas Cage movies that I really, really enjoy. Now, Raising Arizona is an easy one to pick. But
Okay,
it's a comedy. It's star-studded. It's absolutely ridiculous.
you're right. Right.
But like, I just don't. I mean, Gone in 60 Seconds is a fun movie, but I don't necessarily think of it
okay.
as an Angelina Jolie as a
And
Nicolas Cage movie, because it has Angelina Jolie and
yeah, it has, the supporting cast on it is a strong supporting cast. And that's right, George. Jared Leto as Morbius. He go broke.
I haven't even seen that one yet.
Oh,
But
don't.
that was a Sony production, right? It's not an
Yeah,
MCU
no,
film.
it was Sony. It's not MCU, and it's horrible. It is so bad,
It's
and
okay that I won't
it
see.
kind of it has potential. That's the bad thing is you can see where it has potential to where it could have been that seed to be the to be that movie that would branch off into the MCU doing the horror stuff, like Blade and Man Thing and like Wolf, like the Wolfman or Howling Wolf Commanders, whatever the case is. Yeah, like it could expand all of that, but it just fell flat.
Yes, as George put it, it sucks. Pardon the pun.
It it did.
I will say this though, just last night, and I'm not a horror fan film or a horror film fan, but I do love vampire movies. In the
Hmm.
last week, I've watched two. I watched the newest remake of Nosferatu.
Okay.
Um, which one of the Skarsgårds? Is it Bill Skarsgård? He played it.
Yeah. Bill Skarsgård.
Plays
Yeah.
Count Orlok. It is
Okay.
creepy as shit. I mean, like, ugh, it was fantastic. Werewolf by Night. That was good. That was
Now,
awesome. We are getting
Nosferatu.
into the,
Yeah.
but Nosferatu. But last night, Sinners.
Now that's I
That
haven't
movie.
watched it yet. That I'm
Watch
planning
it.
on watching it. I was trying to watch it sometime this afternoon, after the show. But
There you
yeah.
go. It is awesome. It is awesome. I never even heard of it. Just my roommate was like, "Hey, we're gonna watch this movie. You want to come down and watch it?" So I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll come down and watch it." I was just like, "Wow, okay." I mean, everything from the music, the
Mm-hmm.
Michael B. Jordan doing
Yeah.
the
I mean,
two playing the double role of twin brothers,
yeah. I mean, plus the fact. I mean, it's Ryan Coogler, and
Ryan
Michael B.
Coogler
Jordan.
film,
So
Michael B. Jordan,
you
and
cannot
it's
go
set
wrong.
in like the 50s or 60s or something,
Hmm.
or no, even the 30s or 40s even. Not sure.
Yeah. So I mean,
It's an old timey film.
yeah. You with Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan,
Yes,
you can't go wrong.
set in 1932 Mississippi.
Yeah. You can't go wrong.
No, no, but yeah, back to the whole. It does definitely seem like, especially with Ironheart, that MCU is. I'm hopeful that we're
Hmm.
moving away from the multiverse element now. I mean, slowly. I know you're
Yeah.
not going to end overnight, but I mean, like, I
Like
think the whole
yeah.
multiverse thing, this whole post Endgame multiverse has kind of
Hmm.
not been as epic
Yeah. I think
as
it's.
everyone thought.
I think it's like this. I think once they kind of teased the um, next phase of it ending being the Secret Wars, said knowing that we had to introduce, characters, like Professor X, Wolverine, who else is under Sony? The Morbius, Blade, all those cast of characters that they had to bring into the MCU.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, the multiverse type of thing that they've opened up, it's just a way, just a cheap way now of just bringing in the characters to fill that they need. It's it was something that
Yeah,
was meant to be epic. It was meant to be, to show the classic view of these characters and all this, the whole nine. But it's been a whole cluster, and it's just been exploited, overdone, exploited, the whole nine. So, oh my gosh, hang on, I have a
your
four-legged.
dog problem.
Yeah, I
Okay,
got a four-legged
you
drama
good.
to take care of real quick. I'll be right
That's
back.
okay. Go take care of him. No respect for our show. That dog. Anyway, but yeah, we're hoping. I'm excited to move away from the multiverse. I want to get too much into it while we're waiting for Gilbert to get back, but there's reasons that I think the multiverse fell flat. And haven't been much conversation about it. Almost seems like Marvel wanted to sweep it under the rug, so to speak. Long legs. What is that, George? I'm not sure I've heard of that. Was that a vampire movie or another Marvel horror entity property? Stand by. We're waiting for our co-host to return. After these messages, we'll be right back. Now I need some messages. Cage serial killer movie. Now I've never heard of that one.
Oh, I swear, my dog. She is so spoiled. She's spoiled rotten to the core. She is ruined.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah.
I am so going to interject, because a minute ago while you were gone, I did the little after these messages, we'll be right back. I'm so going to interject a little 15-second music clip in there or something silly. Since I don't have any messages actually to tell her. Maybe I'll interject something from RoboCop or something. Starship Troopers. Would you like to know more?
I did my part. I didn't do shit.
I'd buy that for $1. But yeah, it does seem like MCU's moving away from the multiverse. I think that's largely in part due to the Jonathan Majors incident.
Yeah.
And really the whole Kang the Conqueror thing just being... I mean, Quantumania was a boring movie in my opinion. I thought it was it was messy.
Yeah, it was. It just seemed like that they tried to rush these characters, being introduced, and with MODOK. The way that they did MODOK and they introduced MODOK, it was all sorts of wrong. It's the same kind of, for me, it was almost the same as when they first introduced Mandarin. And it turned out to be Ben Kingsley, and it was just like, what the hell is this? So...
Oh, that made a lot of people mad.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Trevor Slattery. But we got a real Mandarin later. We did get a real Mandarin later.
It did make it up in Shang-Chi.
Yep.
And even then, funny thing is that they made mention of that and just how bad, and the Mandarin was like, oh, so this guy just started saying that he's me, and wait, name does he pick? The Mandarin. These people are scared of an orange. And you got these people scared of an orange, and I was like... He just voiced everything what we was thinking in that one line.
Yeah, and aside from the fact that Ben Kingsley was not Asian in descent, which the Mandarin should have been to start with.
Yeah.
I didn't think his portrayal was bad until they revealed that he wasn't really the Mandarin.
Yeah, he was just some dude that got paid.
Terrorism videos he did were freaking awesome. They were terrifying.
Right? At first I'm thinking... Oh, go ahead.
So we're going to get to Secret Wars, and then that's going to bring about the end of the multiverse saga. So if you had the Infinity Saga, which was kind of like a cosmic galactic scale theme, now we've in the middle of the multiverse stuff, and then I want to Maybe we can get into the horror elements in the next major saga. This is the second saga.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's. I don't know if they're. The multiverse is always going to be open like that, but I think that it won't be fully explored. Normally, I mean, it'll be explored on like What If, on the show
Right,
What If,
sure.
and
It'll
I
never
get that,
go away, but I mean, like,
but it won't
our
be.
Earth
But
618 or whatever, that's the main one in the
yeah,
main
and that
timeline.
one, you know, that's 616 is the main timeline, MCU
616.
timeline, so that one's not going to be messed with or anything like that. Now, with that being said, because of what was it, Eternals. Now, because of Eternals, they found a way to introduce adamantium, and found a way to introduce the whole mutant. Well,
The mutant thing, yeah.
the mutant
X-Men
gene
in
kind of
general.
teased it then, but it was kind of talked about a little bit more in Miss Marvel, and showing that she
Yes.
was actually a mutant. And so now we're kind of getting exploring into that. Now we're gonna hopefully now we'll start seeing Wolverine, Cyclops, Colossus.
Well, they're
I
all
mean-
coming. I mean, they're all coming to the MCU. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about that.
So, I
And
mean,
yeah, we
we've
still
already got
some
Deadpool.
multiverse. Yeah, we got Deadpool. They hinted at the mutant gene again by including Professor X in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Because technically Scarlet Witch is supposed to be a mutant. She's the daughter of Magneto, for Christ's sake.
yeah,
You
and
know?
and I think even they even may mention that in First Class, not First Class. Yeah, no,
It wasn't First Class.
Was
it
it,
was Days of Future Past.
Days of
the
Future
same
Past.
timeline.
yeah.
Yeah. Because
Where,
it had a Quicksilver.
Quicksilver, he went and he saved Magneto
He's her
and said
brother.
that said, hey, apparently my dad was controlled magnetism or something like that.
Yeah, and
So-
they brought him in to WandaVision
Mm-hmm.
briefly. The one from the X-Men universe, not the one from
The
Avengers,
yeah,
2.
not from not the MCU one, but the Sony one.
The Sony one. But I mean, back to what you were saying earlier,
But-
how we're trying to get these. Now, Sony still owns all the rights to Spider-Man in movies, and I think they're being
Mhm.
incredibly stingy. Or I don't. Maybe I don't know where they stand now, but they were. It was Fox who owned the X-Men, and Disney was just like, "Fine, if you're not going to sell us the X-Men, we'll just buy you."
Yeah.
So now they own the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Through that deal, they also got rights back to Fantastic Four, which comes out later this
Like,
month or next month.
I think it's later this month.
And that is a multiverse version of the Fantastic Four. It is the modern era, but it's like a retro future.
Right.
Like they're in our current time era of like the 2000s,
Yeah, but
2020s,
it looks
but it
like
looks like 60s retro.
yeah, it looks like how they did in the 60s.
Right.
And
they would be pretty monumental in the Secret Wars. So
yeah, absolutely. And again,
Marvel's
I'm
first fan.
I'm kind of looking forward to this one because it just seems like it seems like they're going. This take of the Fantastic Four is literally almost like it's lifted straight from a comic in the 1960s. So I kind of want to see
Yeah.
how they do with that, especially with the Thing, because
a lot of people are asking questions like, Because he's got a beard.
Yeah. Yeah.
A rock beard. Like, okay, I mean,
It's
I'm here for it. I was never I didn't read a whole lot of Fantastic Four growing up, so I mean, I don't know tons about them. I have seen all of the movies to come out so far, even the bad ones in the 80s, like the TV movies. But I mean, the ones that came out, that there were the ones with gosh, I always have trouble remembering names when I need to remember them. I mean, it had Captain America as Johnny Storm, Chris Evans.
Oh yeah. The ones with Julian McMahon. Oh gosh, Alba.
Jessica Alba.
Jessica
That's what I
Alba.
was trying to think. I'm like,
Yeah.
God, I watched that show. She was on Fox in like the 90s.
Dark Angel.
Dark Angel. Like,
Mhm.
how do you forget that? How do you forget her name? That was a show everybody loved. Dark Angel. That was a badass show.
Oh, I love that show. Yeah. And
Now we got Pedro Pascal. He's riding high on everybody's love you list.
right.
I mean,
It's like Pedro. He can't do anything wrong. Like,
no, I mean, he's the Mandalorian. He's now going to be Mr. Fantastic. He told J.K. Rowling to take a long walk off a short pier.
right.
Like, bro is
It's like-
walking around with brass pair. A brass
like he
pair.
is-
I mean, just like,
It's like Pedro, sir. You are the man. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward
John
to that one.
Malkovich has an uncredited role. Or an unlisted role. It doesn't say who or what he is in this movie.
In a Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm. Ralph Ineson is Galactus. Joseph Quinn, Human Torch, don't know who he is. Vanessa Kirby is Sue Storm, and Julia Garner is the feminized version. All you anti-woke people are going to hate. Silver Surfer is a girl now. Sorry.
And again,
Who cares?
it's in the comics. It's in the comics. Of course, yes, Norrin Rad. This is Silver Surfer. However, also, Shalabal is a Silver Surfer. Shalabal is Norrin Rad's wife. There's a story in the comics of how she got her powers. Her powers being she got them from Norrin. So, there is that. There is that. So,
Oh no. Is that true?
yeah. So, people, that is canon. It is canon. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how they do Galactus, because in this fantastic, the second one with
Where he was just a cloud?
oh, I hated that. I hated
No,
that with
this-
such passion, because it's a cop out. It's just a cheap, easy, quick way of introducing a bad guy without having to introduce the actual bad guy. You say, oh, well, let's just say Galactus is just a looming cloud of imminent doom, instead of being like an actual...
Kaiju-sized dude stomping through your city.
Exactly. You know?
We finally get to see that. We get to see
We
that
get to
in
see
this
the
new
actual
Galactus.
actual larger than life 3D and 4K and stereo surround sound Galactus.
in your face Galactus. And as far as Fantastic Four goes, I will not be discussing the last movie. It was just atrociously bad. Just bad.
The thing about it pissed me off so much with that one. I loved the one thing I did like about it. They tried to do a more scientific aspect of it,
True. I saw what they
and I
tried
can
to do.
and I
Just
can
the
appreciate that.
execution, they didn't
But
land. They didn't stick the landing.
no, like it was a great concept again, and I love the whole thing of Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm.
Mhm.
You know, I like the whole dynamic of Sue Storm being adopted. You know, cool, not a problem. Love that whole dynamic of it.
None of those things were the concern for me. Just it was a bad story.
But it was just bad.
It was just
Like
bad.
instead of going in outer space, it was like, okay, you're opening this dimensional portal thing on the ground. No, the whole story is that you go into space to observe, you know, the radiation from this meteor storm that's passing by. Throughout the course of your observation, you get hit, you get damaged, and you get imbued with this radiation, and so boom, you become the Fantastic Four.
Right. Exactly.
But it just fell short on everything.
And I here my worst casting in this movie actually is I like Jamie Bell, but he was not who I would have chosen to play the Thing.
No,
Like
I,
I like Miles Teller. I've liked him in Hunger
Mhm.
Games. I liked him in that Apple TV series, the movie. Or
Oh,
it's not a series,
yeah,
the movie,
with,
The Gorge.
yeah.
That was a good movie. You know, I mean, he's a good actor. Oh man, no, it just didn't. It didn't land. So I'm excited about
And
this new one coming out.
absolutely. And I mean, Miles
The
Teller was just
Fantastic Four is what George calls it. But I want to take a quick moment just to acknowledge something that George said.
Mhm.
Kenneth Connolly, who played Admiral Piet, passed away on June 30th of this year. So
oh no.
the age
Well,
of 87 from pneumonia. So farewell, long live the Empire, all that good stuff.
so he had a well,
Would
at least he had a you know he had a
surf
long life, so he had a long and eventful life, so that was cool. But
right. And,
yes.
and had the credit of never having died at the hands of Darth Vader. He got promoted thanks to other people dying at the hands of Vader, but he died like anyone else when a ship crashed into his bridge and the Star Destroyer Executor crashed onto the surface of Death Star 2.
Well, see, that's how you know he did a good job. Because Vader didn't fire him. So that's how you know he did a good job.
Yeah, when Vader fires you, there's no reconsiderations. You're fired. Plain
So
and
when you're
simple.
fired, yeah, you're fired. You know, but hey, he couldn't help. He couldn't help the rebel scum. He couldn't help that rebel scum that shot up his ship.
But you brought up an interesting point earlier, and I think that there's an interesting parallel here, is how in the multiverse saga of the MCU, how we're introducing all these characters really fast.
Mhm.
And Marvel is making a mistake that they once didn't do, but that DC did. One of the greatest things about the Infinity Saga was how long it took, or how long Marvel chose to take, to introduce these characters and let you get to know them before
Mhm.
throwing them all together into this massive finale.
Yeah.
DC, who wanted a taste of the MCU for themselves, gave us Wonder Woman, Man of Steel, and Batman, like, all real quick. They didn't
Mhm.
take the time for us to get to know the characters. Yes, I know everyone knows who Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman are, but these are new versions. Let the actors create the role for themselves and let that role evolve. Don't just, I mean, God, we didn't even get a proper Batman movie. We got Batman versus Superman. Oh, let's throw Wonder Woman in at the same time.
Yeah. It's just
And also hint at Aquaman, Cyborg, and the
Yeah,
Flash
so it was just
in the
kind of
same movie.
right. That was just one where it just seemed like it was just rushed, thrown together, and it just seems like, you know what? I think people might like, just the tease of Cyborg. I think people might like, tease of Aquaman. Oh yeah, people love, we make a cameo of Wonder Woman. So, everybody knows that, the Justice League is coming. They're being formed right now. But
Right. They were banking on the names of these characters and their histories to make all the money instead of actually introducing
kind of,
them.
yeah, like creating a story, an engaging story that, the fans will be like, okay, I need to know what happens. And that's where Zack Snyder, he started out, with detail and building up this building up the universe, for the DC, and unfortunately, with tragedy struck his family, he couldn't complete it. And
we got Justice League.
And we got that hot garbage of a movie.
Oh my God.
Which completely derailed the whole entire universe that Zack Snyder was building, in which it, frankly, in my opinion, it definitely could have rivaled the MCU.
Could have. And now we've got to start all over again. So my message to you, DCU, it's not the DCEU now, it's the DCU. They've rebranded it.
Mm-hmm.
Take your time. Got a Superman movie coming out. Yes, that was the right move to make. He's your flagship character.
Mm-hmm. And I get it. You from the trailers, it looks like you are introducing a few of the Justice League members as well. You got Hawkman, and I've seen the Hawkman, the Green Lantern. Yeah, and great. That is great. Introduce them out. Awesome. Build that whole universe up. And it seems like
time.
Yeah, absolutely take
We're
your
not
time.
going anywhere. Take your time.
And it definitely seems like you are building it, more from the comic book. From more of the comic book type of inspiration. With the bright colors of Superman and the bright colors of, the Green Lantern and Mr. Terrific, Hawkman. And it just seems like, you're doing all this and everything looks great. But just like how you keep saying, take your time. Build it up, take your time. Let the audience, let us, watch and enjoy. Don't try to force it down our throats. Don't try to, just keep boom, 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 boom. That's the issue that we have all been having with the MCU and with Star Wars and with franchises like that. It's too much. It's just flooding the market. Like, we have literal superhero fatigue, between just the shows in Marvel and the movies and now with the Secret Wars, and now we have to keep up with all the shows and the movies and everything like that just to catch up on all these things, what's going to happen for Secret Wars. And it's just like, it's sometimes it's overwhelming.
It is overwhelming sometimes. That is correct. And that's why I also think that one reason Marvel may be moving away from the multiverse too is that you want to capture the attention of the average moviegoer too. The comic fans are going to be there. We're going to see the movies. That doesn't matter. Even if we think it's going to be bad, we're going to see it. But the multiverse, I think, just gets too confusing for the average moviegoer. It's too much for them to have to read into and learn about to understand what they're seeing on screen. Infinity Saga was very straightforward. Here's all of our heroes. Here's your MacGuffin, which are the stones. And if the main bad guy gets all the stones, shenanigans ensue, and and then the good guys have to fix everything.
Right.
Pretty cut and dry. This is like the multiverses. Here's the story, but it could be different if we were over here, or if we were over there. This would be different, but also this could be different. By the way, did you think about this possibly? This could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and everyone's like, okay, which version is which? Which one
okay,
is
so,
what I'm supposed to be?
Yeah. So it's like, wait, which one am I supposed to pay attention to? But then it's
Right.
like, oh, well, you have this universe here and these characters here, but what if, what would happen, if you brought this character here from this universe and brought him into here? That it's, right. And I think it's kind of like that where they're, to a point, it's going to rely so much on this multiverse that they've built up and started with Spider-Man. Well, Spider-Man, or was it? No, it was Spider-Man. It started with Spider-Man No Way Home. Far From Home.
The multiverse?
The multiverse one.
Yeah,
No Way Home?
That was No Way Home.
No Way Home.
The one that had Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in it as the other multiverse.
As the other Spider-Man, yeah.
That is the only one that you cannot watch on Disney. You can watch Homecoming and Far From Home. But you can't watch No Way Home.
And
there is a fourth one on the way. And it's also, we're also bringing back the TV shows, the Netflix shows. We've already gotten Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
It's already been proven that John Bernthal is still the Punisher.
Yep.
Vincent D'Onofrio is still Kingpin.
He's still Kingpin, yeah.
Word on the street is that Kristen Ritter will be returning as Jessica Jones in Daredevil Season 2.
Okay.
So,
all right. Awesome.
We're bringing in... I demand Luke Cage. If we could just forget to hire Iron Fist, I'm cool with that.
I say, yeah, we need a different Iron Fist. It can still be Danny Rand. I mean, there are different Iron Fists that have been around it, but you can still have Danny Rand as Iron Fist.
Yeah, but Finn Jones.
But Finn Jones as Danny Rand, just
no.
No,
it didn't work for me.
Just
it was arguably the weakest of the Defender series.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought the Defenders was great. I loved the little like Avengers light feel, but still, he was
the worst one out of the whole group. It was and the Iron Fist would have been a lot better, in my opinion, if it had a different lead actor. Just had a different one. I don't know who could have fit it. Who could have fit it? Oh, absolutely not, George. Absolutely not.
No, I'm gonna also support that, George. No, I don't want. This is weird because Jared Leto has some acting chops.
I'll say
maybe
he can.
Not our audience's type of movie, but oh God, I never remember things when I need to remember them. This is horrible.
See,
I'm getting blonder as I get older. The Dallas Buyers Club was a great movie. For someone especially someone like me in my community. It was American Psycho, but he's had such a.
Problem is that he's so
Skeletor.
Here's my opinion, Jared Leto. I will give him this. He's a great actor. My problem with it is he's very problematic. That's my only issue with Jared Leto.
Right, especially when like he was on, what was it, the Suicide Squad set,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like sending like dead
Dead
rats and
rats
stuff to
and
his
yeah,
co-hosts or his co-actors,
yeah.
whatever.
Not only
I
that,
could see Scott Adkins as Iron Fist. I could see that, and he's got
yeah,
some action cred. You know, he was in John Wick 4, the Undisputed series.
yeah. Like I can see that, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Scott Atkins as Iron Fist.
I'm not sure
Um,
about Batman though. I don't know who Alan Richardson is though. I kind of thought that maybe they were going to
um,
use the Robert Pattinson movies to bring him into their, but
that's what I thought.
the way that
But see,
the way that these Batman movies are made, they just don't work in a comic book setting.
no, they're very Batman movies would be very. It'd be better if they were, gritty, like the
The Dark
Penguin,
Knight trilogy,
like the Penguin series.
the Penguin
Yes.
series, that
Yeah,
was fantastic. Yeah, I mean, and
and
even the Batman was good. I just don't see how you put that side by side with the new Superman coming out. Obviously, we don't know the plot or anything yet.
yeah,
We've
no,
seen the trailer. They look completely different.
no. See, Alan Richardson, he's he's Aquaman. I mean, I know he played Aquaman in Smallville, but quite frankly, he looks more like Aquaman than he does like Batman. Right?
Oh yeah, that guy.
He's the guy that
He's
played Reacher. Yeah.
yeah, he's a big dude. He's also a Trumper, but that's what I've heard. Not that I care really. I really don't care about people's politics when it comes to actors. If I did, I wouldn't like a lot of people. I mean, I've already had actors like not that I ever thought he was great, but like John Voight,
Mm-hmm.
James Woods. I thought James
Yeah.
Woods was fantastic in the movie Contact. I just
Oh yeah, he's
can't stand
great.
him as a can't stand him as a person. He's also the Manchurian Candidate,
Mm-hmm.
James Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, he's got
So he's good.
some big movies under his belt, but he's just one who's kind of quiet about his politics. I did like as an actor, and he just kind of just Gary Sinise. He's a
Gary
known
Sinise,
Hollywood
yeah,
conservative,
yeah.
but they just kind of disappeared. I mean, if maybe maybe it would work, George. I mean, he's big enough.
I'm not
He's a
saying that his size. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
beast of a man.
He's big enough to play, but I mean, I my personal preference. Not gonna lie, is Ben Affleck as Batman.
Why? Really?
I liked him as Ben Affleck. I liked him as Batman.
He wasn't bad. I won't. I'll give you. I mean, I think he played an older, angry Batman
Yeah.
in the way that nobody else could have. I mean, we're going forward as far as fan castings. We need someone younger, especially if we're going to doing the DCU for the long haul.
Now
You
for the
know,
long haul, then I would say definitely Robert Pattinson. I think he would. I mean, brighten up the. I wouldn't even say brighten up his outfit.
I just say they
I would
keep
just
those
say,
movies separate. I don't see how they could fit into the DCU's vision. They need to come up with a new DCU Batman. And until they come up with somebody who I actually see plays him better, Christian Bale will be my Batman forever.
okay,
Until somebody comes along and does it better.
all right, I can see that. All right.
I did hear that. I did hear that, and what I thought was funny was watching Christian Bale's audition for Batman wearing the Val Kilmer suit from Batman Forever.
Hey,
uh,
I guess it worked.
I
Cause I mean,
hated those suits, the Batman Forever and Batman and Robin suits. They were terrible. I mean, especially when we got the bat nipples.
with the
That was
nipples,
just a travesty.
it's like the nipples never made any sense to me. Like why?
Yeah, why? I'm not understanding. I mean, I guess if you go back and look at like some of the bronze chest plates and stuff that like Romans or wore, they
Mhm.
they were anatomically correct, but
Yeah, but here's the thing: it just doesn't make sense as to put nipples on that suit. Like they serve no purpose. Just there, just because.
Well, this is some new news that I did not. I mean, I knew it was coming. I didn't know it was coming so soon. Apparently, they're hoping for the remake of Spawn to release this year
Oh, okay.
with Jamie
Mhm.
Foxx is in the lead role. I know it's like you couldn't have got Michael B. Jordan.
Like Michael Jai White's not available.
Brian.
Like I mean, to me he's already Spawn. I mean it. He's already Spawn to
I
me.
like Michael Jai White and a lot of stuff he's been in. I did not like him as Spawn. And I think it's just the goofy nature of the movie that probably ruined him in the movie for me. Was because, like
Mm.
when he's climbing up the wall and his hand turns into a suction cup and he's like, hell yeah. Like, what? Really? Really? This is
The
a agent
cheesiness, yeah, no,
of
that
the devil. And he's out here like, I did like the rooftop fight with Violator. That was pretty freaking cool. But
yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing with that movie. Admit there was way just too many cheesy stuff. Just like with the suction cup stuff, and for me personally, that was one of those movies where Michael Jai White was just he was a decent actor in a bad movie.
he got very little to work with. They couldn't, they had to create that Jessica whatever assassin that he fought because the character of Chapel
Mm-hmm.
was actually owned by another comic artist
Right.
that was under
Mm.
the Image brand, and McFarlane and him had kind of cross coordinated
Mm-hmm.
in bringing him in. They did that a lot in Image Comics, just like they do in Marvel Comics.
Yeah. Now if they kind
But
of now
so they had to,
if the movie was written kind of like the took some elements of the cartoon show and kind of made it sort of like that, then it would have been received a lot better as far as story wise goes. But then still been the problem of CGI, and it was
it was
just
bad CGI because
yeah,
CGI was still in its infancy at that time. I mean, it was made in 1997, so they didn't have a lot to work with. Star Wars and The Matrix hadn't set the stage yet. They still had 2 years before they'd come out and be like, "This is how you do CGI."
right. So I feel like
Um,
now Spawn being out, it would be great, but I think Michael Jai White deserves another chance.
Maybe, but he's also getting older. The things that encourage me, it is a low budget horror film. It's being made by Blumhouse. They are known for their horror films.
Okay.
And the movie is supposed to be R-rated, is intended to be very dark and very intense, and much closer to the original comic book origin than the original movie did. So
All right.
I'll give it a shot. I know it's supposed to be told from the perspectives of Sam and Twitch as they're
Mm-hmm.
investigating murders and around the alley and stuff like that,
Okay.
and what
So
have you. So we'll
I
see.
hope so. I hope so.
Apparently, there is a teaser trailer out there, so I will have to go and watch that and see what they do. But I don't know. Jamie Foxx he seems like a comedian to me.
Uh,
And I
he's don't get me wrong. He's good. He's talented and he is a very good actor. I just don't see him as Spawn. I'll give him a chance. Yeah. Give him a chance to kind of see, but it just.
I'll watch it, but McFarlane, if this doesn't do it, I mean, it took you almost 20 years to reboot the movie that you've been talking about forever. I know he didn't have a lot of control over how they made the last movie, and it's another example of getting a great actor with a good name who comes in and plays a crappy role. You had Martin Sheen as Jason Wynn, and he was positively caricature. He was just ridiculous in that movie.
It's like he was generic bad guy number 1.
Yes. And Jessica, whatever her name was generic bad guy number 2. And it was just
that was
meant
it.
To showcase a lot of CGI that wasn't very good either.
Yeah. So again, visually, I know it will look great. I know this. Visually, it will look amazing. Story, maybe. I don't know.
I think Wesley Snipes is too old too. I mean, he's getting up there.
Yeah.
I did like to see him. I did like him in Deadpool. It was nice to throw back the Blade.
Yeah, it was nice. Good to see him, one more time as Blade. And the one thing I will say that he pitched an idea to Marvel that I really liked was for the new Blade movie when Mahershala Ali was cast to play Blade, that he would come back and play Dracula. So I love that idea. But
that would have been cool.
Unfortunately, didn't happen.
And that being said, it is 5:00. We've come to the end of another episode of the Rules of Nerdquisition. We will be back next week with the Omega Glory. Actually, with it.
Yes.
Next time.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
I don't know who said that at the beginning that we were doing. I don't know who said that.
Somebody hijacked our they hacked into our feed and started spreading misinformation.
That was AI.
It was AI. AI did that.
That was AI.
So,
that was all AI.
Right. But yeah, we'll be back next week to discuss that. And then, like I said, we are 4 episodes away from our season 2 finale, where we will review Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
God.
And that's all I have today. By any other name, it was a great episode. I had fun with it. Scotty, it is green.
Great episode. Loved it. This is a great show. Had a lot of fun. Always have fun talking to you about nerdy shit.
Nerdy shit.
So, with that being said, everyone, keep your triples spayed and neutered. Live long and prosper. Take care.